Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 2 of season 10, You Just Know. Amy's impending motherhood is shadowed by Mare's post-pregnancy complications. Lou ponders her new business venture and a matter of the heart. As I stated in the previous video, we're probably going to see some about Minnie's, as it says, post-pregnancy complications. So hopefully Minnie will be okay. I did grab a few Kleenex. Hopefully this will be enough. I don't want to have to run upstairs and grab the whole box, but I did grab a few just in case. It says it's shadowed by the complications. Well, yeah, I think it kind of should be overshadowed because you're trying to save a horse's life. That's more important than her pregnancy at that moment. Okay. And then it says a matter of the heart, which of course will be her thoughts on Mitch and everything, you know. I like how they say by a mare's post-pregnancy complications, as if we don't know it's Minnie. It's like you could have just said her motherhood is shadowed by Minnie's post-pregnancy complications. It's like they're trying to be kind of vague about it in the description, even though, as I said, we know it's going to be Minnie. Unless it is a different horse. But given the last episode, Minnie just had twins, and it would make sense that there's going to be complications for her having twins. Better be fucking okay. I mean, Paint died in season 9. I don't know if my heart can take a horse dying in season 10. Let's get started.
Jocelyn, Jolene,
Hi, Remy.
John Quill.
Really?
Yeah, maybe not John Quill. Julie's nice. Yeah, I like Julie.
Ty, I don't even know if it's going to be a boy or a girl yet.
It's good to have a few names picked up, you know?
Yeah.
Keep them in mind.
Yeah.
That's true. I like how now they're looking at books.
Okay, we'll be right there. Come on, Remy.
She's got a Clementine. Come on, Minnie. You'll be okay.
Okay, this girl is obviously some college
Hugged.
Not that make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, any horse rider knows that. Even if Samantha had loosened the cinch, she would have double checked the cinch before she got on. So she would have already seen that it was loose. And, you know, Georgie obviously is not going to want anything to do with this. I do like that Samantha seems to like Georgie. Kind of taking her under her wing. But obviously now we're going to have this kind of moral dilemma. Does she say what happened? What's going on? And of course, Georgie and Olivia are frenemies, kind of like how Amy and Ashley were at first. But Amy and Ashley got over it. I would kind of like to see on the show if they kind of stay frenemies or just become flat out enemies, because it seems like too many times on these shows, if they start off like as enemies or frenemies, then they end up resolving their issues and becoming like BFFs, which doesn't always happen in real life. It makes me actually think of Legally Blonde, because I just rewatched that recently, and how, you know, Vivian Kensington didn't like Elle Woods, at least at first. But then, you know, in the final scene of the movie, the two of them were, of course, graduating and were best friends. And it was fine, you know, I like that Vivian ended up respecting Elle and they put their differences aside and became friends. But again, it's like it would be nice in some of these shows to see frenemies stay frenemies or become flat out enemies, or even if they're not frenemies, if they are flat out enemies at the beginning, stay enemies. or start off as friends, become enemies, or start off as friends and stay friends. You get what I mean. Because unfortunately, that's more realistic than frenemies becoming friends. It does happen. But it just seems more realistic.
Alright, let's see what you got.
Beautiful palomino. So it looks like there's trick writing, and then there's the extreme tea, which I guess does they do more extreme.
Georgie! Let's see if you can follow that.
But you tighten it, but you double check it right before you get on. So you tighten it, you check adopted. Adam's like, that's weird. Maybe Sam likes her.
Headed to New York next week. This is pretty exciting.
Actually, I'm not sure I'm going. Maybe Percy and Dawson aren't really ready to go on the trailer enough.
Percy and Dawson. Yeah, I knew it was going to be something. I figured she was going to be more of a relative. But, yeah, he's right. You could tell it was killing Lou. And then she says, well, now I feel bad for Pride. And it's like, well, yeah, you kind of should. Because it really is not your concern. And, you know, the thing with Sam is she said she did loosen it a little. And it's like, I do get it with Olivia. You know, she probably had tightened it, stepped away, and obviously assumed that no one. So I do get her point. But always with me, when I would ride, you know, I would cinch the horse up. And then, of course, right before I would jump on, I would cinch them up again because, of course, they bloat. So I just feel like she should have done that. Like she should have cinched the horse, and maybe she was gonna hop up right then. Maybe that is what happened. You know, she got off her phone call and hopped right on. Maybe I'm just like thinking that she should have checked it again because we know what Sam did, but maybe that isn't realistic given that she did already check it. But I was glad to hear Natalie mention that because that's what I've been saying. Any horse rider knows that you always double check the cinch. And I've never seen them do it on here. So I'm glad to finally hear them mention it. It took 10 seasons to finally see some acknowledgement with that. Because that's one thing that I've noticed is, you know, they get on a horse, but you never see them like double check the cinch. And obviously for a show so dedicated to riding and horses, that's something that they should know. And it's something I always watch, you know, since I used to ride horses. So I was glad to finally hear some acknowledgement of it. And personally, if I was ever like on set somewhere and they had something like that, I would want them to show, you know, the person goes to get back on and they adjust the cinch. And someone could even ask, you know, what are you doing? And they could explain it to the audience so that those who aren't horse people would know that the horse bloats and so you need to tighten it. So it was good to finally hear some acknowledgement towards it. Another fish. Fishy. Another fishy. Another fishy. 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 Bubbles. They have to adjust the window, keep it up like that?
Someone's in a chipper mood.
What? Me?
No.
You just seem happy is all.
Well, I don't know why, because nothing special happened today, so.
Today.
Hey, dinner's going to be in about an hour.
Dying around the ranch. It's a part of life. And we can't protect her from those things forever. I don't want to be involved in that.
Hey, Ernie.
Can they take the foal to her instead of bringing her to the
I was
foal?
thinking of some tricks we can do together that'll be real showstoppers. Let's start on something.
So I had a little bit of sinisterness right there with Sam. And obviously Natalie heard something because you saw that Sam was, you know, acting all, and she says that's pretty much a cakewalk compared to, and I'm like, I would have been like, well, you may want to step back a bit because you don't know who you are messing with, honey. Yeah, they're talking about the foal, and I'm like, instead of bringing Minnie to the foal, take the foal to Minnie. Don't move her, move him. He's the more mobile one. I mean, maybe that doesn't work, but I would think that would be the better option. Well, poor little baby. Obviously, he just wants his mama. The other one seems to be like, I don't care. As long as I get fed, I don't care. And that one's actually partial cat. Why didn't you take the foal to her? If she wasn't ready to move, you could be damaging her. Bring the foal to her, not the other way around.
Keep Boone separate for now. Give him a chance to start feeding.
Being back home is good for her.
So,
I can tell.
is she able to produce milk, though?
Well, we'll just have to wait. Hopefully she'll be able to nurse.
Every time that the goldfish dies in the big tank at school, I get to flush it down the toilet, and it's really cool.
I already buried Bubbles in the yard.
But this new business, it's going to be my entire life, and
You don't think I should, but what if I want to? What if I'm okay with waiting and everything? You know? Just to give me some sign that you might be interested in pursuing something later. And I'll wait. So, and if you're not interested, then let me know. Katie kind of scares me a little. How she was like, that was so cool, flushing it down the toilet. And I'm like, you okay, kid? You gonna turn out to be like a sociopath or something? And, Sam we'll probably see again. I have a feeling she's going to try to do something to Georgie. Even though Georgie didn't tell, Natalie just overheard it. I like how she says, you're not owning up to it. It's like, no, she's not. But the thing is, as Georgie said, if she would have come forward and said it herself, she might have gone a little easier. It'd be like, if someone commits a crime and they go to the police station themselves and confesses, sometimes they end up getting maybe lesser charges or whatnot because they came forward, and that is brave, because obviously when something like that happens, you want to deny. Most memorable moment. Shouldn't it be like the day you were adopted? That's what I would think it would be.
When I was tying my laces, reading books with just
Oh god, that picture of Jack.
I had dreams of many places.
So I think she's realizing it. Yes.
so it became my people. Okay, no one's kidding.
Became a lot of people. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That her most memorable moment should be when she was adopted. because, like she said, that was basically the day she got a family. I do think, though, that in her pictures there, she should have had a couple of her brother. Because in reality, she would. Even though she doesn't see him all the time, he's still her blood brother. There would still be a picture or two of him. So I do wish that they'd just kind of thrown and maybe he was there and I missed it. But you would think that there still would have been like a picture or two, even though you see her life there with them. But yeah, that was a good little monologue there. She said, you know, it was the day that they became my people. You know, the people who were there to watch her. Yeah. The day she was adopted would be her most memorable moment. You know, it's kind of like, it kind of makes you wonder, like, if she had to talk about that as an adult, would something override being adopted, like marriage or whatnot, marriage, having a kid? And I think, no. I think that being adopted probably would still be her most memorable, because that would be the day that she not only gained a true family, but also the day that she was set on this particular path. I mean, as we have seen, she loves it there at Heartland. She loves being able to take care of the horses and ride and do trick riding. And if she'd been adopted by someone else, that wouldn't have happened, you know? She may have run away again. So yeah, she found her life and her people. Thank you for joining me for this reaction. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. I'm so glad that Minnie is doing well. You know, I figured she would, but it's good to know that she is. And of course that the foal is now getting his nourishment. He just needs his mama. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you can, and if possible, my link to buy me a coffee is in the description. Support me on there and help feed my caffeine addiction. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.